In funeral homilies, that the preacher will get carried away and end up canonizing the person. This I don't intend to do. However, I might naturally give a hint or two to that reality. I know many people, and I've heard many more people over the last 3 days, who feel that Brother Thomas was a very holy man. And I'm one of them. I say this as someone who has lived in community with Brother Thomas, and I can tell you, when you live in community with people, you soon find out are they holy or are they not. I've also been part of the journey with Brother Thomas right to the end. And in all of this, I too think that Thomas was a very holy man. The family that Brother Thomas had the privilege of belonging to, the Lavery clan. I know not all of you have the name Lavery, but I know you're part of the clan. And you're here today, and it's wonderful to see so many of you here today, considering that tomorrow is Christmas Eve. It's unbelievable that we managed to get this funeral arranged quite quickly, and I'm sure it had something to do with Thomas organising things in the background. And that's why the crib is set up. The crib was displayed on Saturday, and everyone remembers Thomas putting up that crib. And we're seeing new people, wonderful new people who are doing these jobs now. But the crib is here, the baby Jesus isn't in it yet. We'll wait. But the family, you are here because I know you love the man that we have here before us. Whether he was your brother, whether he was your uncle, whether he was your cousin, whether he was your godfather, whether he was your friend, or whether he was your confidant. And I promise you that you, the Lavery clan, will be held in the prayers of God Redemptorists all over the country as we mourn and we are sad at this time. I'd like just to share with the parishioners a bit of biography, just so you have some idea of exactly who this man was. A lot of us have known him for years, but maybe we didn't know his family background. So he was born on the 31st of July 1934, that made him 85, and he was baptised as Henry Lavery in Kearneystown, Gawley's Gate, and the nearest town to that is Lurgan in County Antrim. And he was born to Anna Maria and William, that's his mum and dad, and he had brothers and one sister. Bath, who was the eldest, he wasn't physically able to cross the Irish Sea to be with us today, but he is with us in spirit. William, who was one of our Redemptorist priests, Father Lavery, he's gone to God. Sammy, who was another brother, who was also gone to God. His brother Eddie, who's here with us, and he's given quite a few people a shock because they thought it was Brother Thomas sitting there, because he doesn't look like Brother Thomas. And then Patrick, another brother. Patrick was actually with Brother Thomas on Thursday when he died, along with his daughter Maria. And then one sister that they had, Mary, and she has also gone to God. Brother Thomas has 3 nieces and 5 nephews, and all of them have been coming and going over the past couple of years to see Brother Thomas. So we're delighted as the parish, really, and we're delighted as the community to welcome you here to be with us. And you're not from the outside at all, you're certainly from the inside, and we're delighted that you're here. When Thomas left home, he was 28 years old, and he left home to join a bunch of holy men. That was us. And he has been a Redemptorist brother for many, many years. Since his death on Thursday, many jokes have been made about Brother Thomas now being God's gardener. And that is actually the way that Thomas met and ministered to many people, working away quietly in the garden and the grounds, always accessible to whoever would pass by. Through my window in the monastery, I overlook our back garden, which many of you will know as a beautiful stretch of green grass. And often I used to see Brother Thomas patiently raking the leaves that had fallen on the grass. And every time I saw him, I would think to myself, what prayer is he saying? Or who is he offering this work for? When Brother Thomas's remains came back here on Saturday, they came to the monastery and there was a problem with the timing. The undertakers, the funeral directors had one time and we had another time. And I said, we're not expecting you for another hour. And the good guy who was driving the hearse said, well, listen, I'll go away and get a coffee and I'll come back in an hour. He said, but what will I do with the hearse? And I said, because Brother Thomas was lying in the back of it, I said, oh, no problem, park it in our garden. So opened the gates and Brother Thomas came into the garden in the hearse. And he came in, when I saw him coming in, I thought, oh my goodness, you have a great sense of humour. I never thought I would see you again in your garden. Every piece of Thomas's work was his prayer. Whether that was in the sacristan, where he was meticulous, whether that was cleaning this place, every inch of this church has been cleaned by Brother Thomas, I can assure you of that. Whether he was a prayer accompanier with people in difficulty, whether he was out in the garden, or whether simply he was a sick, redemptress brother, in all these things, he was truly a man of prayer, and I believe that. And in all the jobs that Brother Thomas had, in whatever community he belonged to, as I've said, he was here for 20 years this time, but he served in many other places as well. Thomas never understood that he was doing jobs. No. Brother Thomas understood that he was involved in ministry. Ministry for Thomas, as indeed for all of us who've made vows, is simply a way of life, simply a way of being, and simply a way of loving. Our constitutions and statutes have this to say: moved and strengthened by the Holy Spirit, the members spare no effort to arrive at a total gift of themselves. They aim to become, through Christ, a response to the Lord who first loved them. They express this response in the profession of vows of chastity, of poverty, and of obedience. That's what our constitutions say. We are taking our vows because God loved us first. And Thomas knew that, and that's why Thomas took his vows many, 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 many years ago. In all of his life, and especially all of his religious life, as I say, he took his first vows on the 26th of April 1964, more than 50 years ago. He was a man, he was a religious brother who had the ease and giftedness of being there for others. Simply that. And the comments and cards and social media messages that we've received over the past few days truly tell us that. And many people have apologised because they can't be here today, because they didn't have time to sort it out with other things. But they were saying, I wish I could be at the funeral to show Thomas I appreciated the times that he was there for me. I'm sure that's true for many of us who are here today. Many of us will remember Thomas on the stage in the parish pantomimes. Many of us will remember him working meticulously in the sacristy. Many of you will remember him from the prayer groups, especially in Westminster. Many of you will remember him here working away in the church. Many of you will remember him over a cup of tea. We will all remember him, but simply as Brother Thomas, a man of God. It was that man of God that went to the Little Sisters of the Poor 2.5 years ago, and St. Peter's truly became a home for Brother Thomas. And there are so many people the Redemptorists need to thank, and they want to thank. And so I just want to say thank you to Mother Jacinta, to Sister Mary Benedicta, to Sister Jacinta, and to all the sisters, and to Eileen, and all the fabulous workers there who work away in that place of St. Peter's. Brother Thomas knew that he was being exceptionally well cared for. He knew he was more cared for with you than he would have been with us. But I don't just mean that physically. Thomas was cared for spiritually and sacramentally. He really was. Many stories will be told, much laughter will go with them, and all of us will experience a touch of sadness that we've lost this special man. However, I really do believe that Brother Thomas was a man of God who knew where he was going and spent his entire life preparing for that. And now, Thomas, our prayer is that you will be enjoying God's splendour in the kingdom of light. We Redemptorists sing at the drop of a hat. And one of the songs that we sing when we have a jubilee and we're having a big meal, at the end of it, we sing the Vivat, thank you. We sing the Vivat just to say long life to you, brother, that we love. And I just want to read 2 lines. We won't sing it now, so don't worry, don't be alarmed. I just want to read 2 lines, and it's, let your joyful strains re-echo long life to the brother we love. Let your joyful strains re-echo long life and a crown above. Brother Thomas knew that St. Alphonsus said, if anybody lives and dies in the congregation, a crown will be waiting for them in heaven. So I can't say much better than that, Thomas. I really can't. And we all pray that you will now be enjoying eternity with God in heaven. Eternal rest, grant unto him, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace. Amen. May his soul, and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen.